Today is my second Q&A. Please guys, stay with me. Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Oksana. Thank you very much for clicking on this video. And today is my second Q&A. First and most, thank you very much for everybody who asked me a question. I truly appreciate this communication between us guys, because that's the main reasons why I have this YouTube channel, just to have communication, have friends, and enjoying company of each other. So today I have my second Q&A, and in Toronto today is March 2nd and the weather is so cold. At the beginning it was also gloomy. Now at least a little bit of sun came out, and I said I won't be defeated. I want to do my Q&A. We want to be positive. We are waiting for the spring, and the spring is coming. I'm absolutely positive about that. So, and I have several questions. Some of the questions is the ones that I didn't reply from the previous Q&A, because when the questions were asked, I already filmed my first Q&A, so they were kind of a little bit delayed. So I decided to address those questions first, because I think it will be fair, and then I'm going to proceed for the questions that was asked me this time. So the first question is from Soham. Where did you get those LV magazines from? The one in the background, are they from boutique? So once again, it's most likely in one of my videos. I had these magazines. I usually have something. So this one I purchased, it's a catwalk for LV, and this is not for free. Then I have lots of magazines from Holtz. It's equivalent of I would say Saks in United States, and they're usually sending magazines for their customers if you are an active customer. And then obviously I have several magazines from Louis Vuitton. Let me just put these magazines like that. So I have magazines from Louis Vuitton, and these magazines, once again, they send you for free, obviously if you're spending enough money at those boutiques. So this is the Louis Vuitton. Then also occasionally you get magazines from Chanel, and they're really beautifully done. Once again, I really treasure those magazines. And recently I start my journey with Hermes magazines, and the Hermes magazines, they're for free. You just have to request and they will give it to you. So all those magazines, none of them are paid for, with the exceptions of LV Catwalk. So that one I really paid for, but all the rest is just kind of given by boutiques as an appreciation, I would say, for the customer. The second question is from JJ531. Where do you store your bags, and please could I do the video? So what I'm going to do, I most likely going to insert short video over here and tell you where I store my bags. I store my bags in my walk-in closet, and my walk-in closet doesn't have any windows, so therefore there is no worry of getting some kind of damage from the sunlight, etc. And I usually like to store my handbags open, not inside my dust bags, but I do cover with the felt that provided by the boutiques, if it's a Chanel or Hermes. Usually Louis Vuitton doesn't have any felt, and I always put some kind of stuffing inside my handbags. It could be airbags, etc., but something that will keep the shape and doesn't let the handbag to sunk. That's how I store my handbags. Occasionally I'm thinking if I should put them inside the dust bags, but I really prefer looking at my handbags because I truly enjoy that. The next question from Lynn E50. Why you didn't have any DeVille or boy bag? This is actually a very good question. And truth be told, I'm not really much fan of boy bag. I find that the chain is very cumbersome, and I tried once again to purchase a Fendi Can I handbag, and it had the same style of the chain, and I returned it. I didn't really like it. So the main deal breaker for me is the chain. The second things I don't like about the handbags, when they kind of give an illusion of the bigger handbag, but when you open up, the handbag inside is smaller because it's almost like a cave-in on the sides or at the bottom. Not really fan of those handbags. So once again, the boy goes into this category. When it comes to the wheel, I've been actually toying with the idea of the wheel for a very long time, and it's not that I don't want to buy. I actually want to buy the wheel. I just find that they're getting more and more expensive, and right now if I want to get the wheel, especially in the leather, it's like 5,000 Canadian, more close to 6,000 Canadian, and also it's getting quite a bit of heavy handbag for the reasons that I want to use. So I always opted to either get Louis Vuitton on the go, because it pretty much has the same function. It's like lighter, and it's also less in price, or never full, something like that. But I do love the wheel. I do love the wheel for sure. The next question is from Kyla Alana, and she was asking if I like my Coco handle handbag. And this is a great question, and it's funny. If you would have asked me 2 years ago, I would have been raving about Coco handle, because I really like the look of Coco handle. But because I used to have two Coco handles, beige with the laser embossed handles, and black with the black hardware, so black hardware. And I don't know, I'm falling out of love with the Coco handle, and the reason for that, first and most, I find that the handbag is not balanced. It's always almost kind of tilting forward, and it has a divider in the middle, and the back compartment quite difficult to use when you're opening up the flap. So mostly people using the front compartment, and when you really load that front compartment, the handbag almost like flipping over. So didn't really like that much. Then I find also, like, because the black one I already sold it, I find out that the corners rubbing off quite badly, though I'm really careful with my handbags. I give it once for the repair to Chanel. They repair it, and then it was okay for a while, and then once again the corners start chipping off. It's, I don't know, maybe it was my specific handbag, but I don't know, I don't like it. Also in the front compartment they have the pockets that once again cumbersome. I don't really like those pockets at all. I mean, overall I find that the function of that handbag, it's not as easy, like it's not as easy to use that handbag, let's put it this way. And I don't know, as I said, if you would have asked me 2 years ago, I would have said like, oh my gosh, I'm in love with Coco handle. I'm still in love with Coco handle. No, I will take it back. I'm in love with the look of Coco handle, but I don't really like the function and how it's made inside. So I find it's very cumbersome handbag to use. I hope I answered your question. Okay, and I have also a question from Chioma, and she was asking me if it was difficult to move to a different country and how I was able to adjust. And also this time it was Bobster92. He asked me a question quite close to that one. Let me just find that question, and his question is actually quite a handful. And Bobster92, he's asking me when I was decided to move to Canada. Did I learn English when I still in Russia, or when I moved to Canada already? What were the biggest challenge for me moving to Canada? And how do you think your life would be if you stay in your home country? That's also once again quite a handful question. So answering to both of you guys, I mean, anytime you're moving somewhere, it's definitely challenging. It's definitely challenging. Nevertheless, saying to move to totally different country, totally different continent, new language, etc. But I was fairly young, and to come to Canada, it wasn't my first immigration per se, because when Soviet Union, because Russia, I was born legally in Soviet Union, that country doesn't exist anymore. When Soviet Union crashed, it was really difficult to find any job in Russia, Soviet Union per se, old Soviet Union. So I was obligated to looking for the job somewhere else, and I was working in the retail and wholesale boutique in Dubai for almost 5 years. So that was my first move, and that's where I somewhat learned my basic English. And even by now, when I talk in English, some people say that my accent not exactly the Russian, because sometimes the way I pronounce, you can feel a little bit almost of Iranian, little bit of Arabic pronunciation. It just kind of mixed, because that's when I first learned my English in Arabic country. And you know, Dubai, it has so many different nationality as well. There is lots huge Persian community, Indian community, Filipinos community, obviously Arabic community, etc. So that's where I first somewhat learned my English. And when I came to Canada, I already had some knowledge of English, but obviously totally wrong English, all broken up, not a perfect English. I mean, I don't have perfect English right now. But in school, I actually learned French, and when I was applying for immigration to Canada, I applied as bilingual. By now, I cannot even put a proper sentence in French, parlez-vous français? So I cannot really put a proper sentence in French, because I pretty much lost that knowledge completely. But you know, I'm somewhat had little bit of knowledge of English, but the English I actually learned by myself, pretty much self-taught of English, and that's what's happened. And my biggest challenge, I would say, moving to a new country, it's definitely loneliness, because I didn't have anybody, just, you know, coming by myself, no family, no friends, etc. Because I actually met my husband here in Canada, and obviously we got married, and I have a beautiful daughter. So it's definitely one of the best decisions I made in my life, moving to Canada. And I'm actually even considering buying something in United States, in Florida. So you never know, maybe one day I'm gonna have a vacation home in Florida, a little bit closer to all my American friends. So definitely great question, and thank you so very much, guys, for asking. So next question is from Tanya, and she was asking, what is your favorite fashion house and why? My favorite fashion house, I mean, it's hard to answer, because obviously for the different reasons, and like, I mean, the clothing, the shoes, the accessories, etc. But putting all together, I still have to say that my favorite fashion house is Chanel, because I really love the look of 90% of Chanel handbags. I love Chanel jewelry. I definitely love Chanel clothing. Lately also I'm stepping, like, you know, tiny baby steps into Hermes, and currently I have 4 Hermes handbags. I have 2 Hermes boots. I have Hermes sandals, lots of Hermes, once again, custom jewelries, belts, etc. And I'm enjoying Hermes as well, like Twillies, etc. But I find I love their clothing as well, but I find the style of their clothing will look much better on somebody who is taller. Though we will see. I'm hoping to once again improve or enlarge my collection of Hermes as well. When it comes to Louis Vuitton, it's once again one of my first passion, and it always will be in my heart. And some other houses like Fendi, Valextra, Valentino, you name it. I love so many different fashion houses, but my favorite, of course, Chanel. So the next question from Dina Vienna, and she's asking, what is my dream Birkin and Kelly handbags, choosing the color, leather, and the hardware? If I would have options of choosing, I know exactly what I want as per today. And when it comes to dream handbags, sometimes people are dreaming of, like, you know, handbags with the diamonds and crocodile, like, etc, etc. I know for sure that I have no place to go with the diamonds handbag. So my choice for Birkin will be 100% Birkin 30, because I know people like the 25 because it's smaller, but in my very humble opinion, I still think that Birkin, it's more of the casual look handbag. It's a tote handbag at the end of the day. So, and I want to have Birkin in size 30 as more of everyday, really kind of classy looking handbag. And I want it in any shade of gray, like dark gray, light gray, but not like light, almost to the white looking gray, like a tube, a tan, like, you know, all those kind of grayish colors will be really nice. Or, I mean, if it would have been black, why not? Black is also nice. Gold color, or any of the dark blue, dark green, something like that, I would say. But my first choice definitely would have been like a tan or a tube. A tube would have been even more preferable. It's very neutral gray with kind of almost brownish undertone, and with the gold hardware. I definitely want it with the gold hardware or permabrass hardware. That would be my best choice, I would say, and in somewhat durable leather. Once again, I'm not very specific in Birkin leather, as long as it's durable. It could be Togo or Epsom, like, but as long as it's durable, I'm okay with any kind of leather. When it comes to Kelly, you all know, guys, that I already have my Kelly 28. It's a black with gold hardware, Salier, and in Epsom leather. So my next Kelly, I want Kelly 25, and that one I know for sure that I want in ostrich. If, like, I mean, I will take any leather if I get offered, but ostrich will be definitely a dream handbag, and once again in any neutral color, or even in the bright, like, you know, animo or something like really funky color. I will really appreciate that handbag. Kelly 25 ostrich will be a dream handbag for me. Okay, thank you very much for your question. Donna Dixon asking me if my daughter Sharon is my passion for luxury, and if there is currently any pieces that she either wants or borrows from me. Great question. And I have to tell you guys, my daughter, she doesn't really still have that passion for luxury. Obviously, we buy her great gifts, and it feels like she is actually more appreciating any computer, you know, gadgets, more than if I'm buying her Dior boots or, I don't know, Tiffany bracelet. In fact, it's not that she is borrowing from me. It's very seldom when she is borrowing something from me. It's most likely I borrow from her, because, for instance, she has Omega watch, and I quite often wear that Omega watch, but it's actually not mine, it's hers. It was a gift from her grandparents and us together on her 13th birthday, but she is very rare, almost never wears that watch, and time to time I'm asking her if I could wear her Omega watch. Or, for example, Louis Vuitton boots. It was actually boots that we purchased for her, and her size is slightly bigger than mine. I'm 37, she's 38, but when it comes to boots, that's okay, especially with Canadian winter. I can put extra sock and I can still wear her boots. So it's actually not she's borrowing from me, I'm borrowing from her. But I hope one day she's gonna change her mind and she will appreciate the luxury more. So we will see. The only time will tell. Only time will tell. So first question from Rox Forensics, and she's asking me how tall I am. I am 5'3", or 160 centimeters. I'm not very tall, not very tall at all. I wish if I will be taller. My daughter actually, in fact, she is fairly tall. She is 5'7", close to 5'8". So I'm really short in height. So that's why, like, you know, when you say I'm trying to choose some kind of styles or handbags, I'm very, very careful that to make sure that those handbags or clothing doesn't make me look shorter even. So that is the first question. So next question is my simple luxury, and she's asking me what I'm thinking of minimalism and when is enough is enough. In fact, I have a video I'm planning to post very, very soon. It's not more of the minimalism, but a little bit more of the chatty one, why we are buying so many handbags. But answering your questions, what I'm thinking of minimalism, because right now lately there is lots of movement on the YouTubes that you're supposed to curate your collection, keeping absolute basic core. And what I can say, there is always classic handbags that always will be in style, like tote, hobo, flap, etc. And then there is a variations of different luxury houses. And you should have those kind of basic handbags, because you need some kind of basic handbag for work. You need basic handbag, at least one if you need to go for a special dinner, etc. You need casual handbags. I mean, there is so many different categories. But what I'm trying to say, at the end of the day, fashion is a fun, and I really think we should enjoy fun, you know, when it comes to fashion. And therefore, I'm not really very much into minimalistic style of the handbags. If I couldn't buy, like, you know, financially, then of course I will enjoy my more minimalistic collection. But if I still can afford, thanks God, I would love to enjoy the fashion, you know. And I do sell also some of my handbags. Like, one thing I have to point out when it comes to curating and more minimalistic style, if I buy something and it didn't work out for me, I do sell those handbags, because I don't hold on to the handbags that I don't use. That one I sell for sure. But if I enjoy a handbag, if I use the handbag, why not? I want to buy more and more. So answering your questions, no, I'm enjoying, you know, purchasing my handbags, and I hope that I can continue purchasing my handbags for many years to come. And thank you very much for your question. The next question is from Eunice Princess. I hope I pronounced it correctly. And she's asking me between Chanel All Medium Boy and Medium Business Affinity, what would be your choice? And she says that she loves my video. Thank you so very much. See, once again, I think I already talked a little bit about the boy handbag. I'm not really a huge fan of the boy handbag, but listen, that's why we are all different. We love different styles. When it comes to the business affinity, it's pretty much the same things what I don't like about a Coco handle. That handbags is not well balanced. It's always tipped forward. If you try to put it on the surface, it always tipped forward, and that's what I don't like about the business affinity. I actually had several times, you know, try that handbag, toying with the idea of that handbag, but never purchased. They're both great handbags, but when it comes to my personal preferences, but if I have to choose either or, I still will go with the business affinity. Once again, my you know, personal opinion. I hope I answered your question. The next question is from Bags and Books, and she's asking me what was my first designer handbag. My first designer handbag, I don't have it anymore, and I'm kind of regret it, because I sold it really cheap, extremely cheap. And that was, I'm assuming that it's a designer, and it was Roberto Cavalli. It was Roberto Cavalli. It was black, really kind of thick leather. I would say almost like a toga looking leather, comparing to, let's say, if it's Hermes. And it's a tote style with the division in the middle, and the front panel of that handbag in pony hair leather. It was really pretty, kind of almost like animal print in the front. It was a really cool handbag. I really loved it. I use a lot for work, etc., and I really use a lot that almost like corners and everything rubbed off, and then I sold it quite cheap, and I truly regret. I should have kept that handbag. So my first one, Roberto Cavalli. And the last questions I have from Lana SK88, and she's asking me where I got my Chanel 19 in caramel. And I got that handbag from boutique, from my local boutique, from my SA, and I did pre-order that handbag right after the the fashion show, when boutiques are actually, the buyers from the boutique buying certain handbags. I pre-order from my boutique. It took a while. It was actually nerve-wracking because I thought I will never gonna get that handbag, because my boutique received only 2 handbags, and the first one went to somebody else who I guess ordered before me, and the second one went to me, and I was extremely grateful that I was able to get that handbag. I hope I answer your question. And the last question I actually just received today, it's under one of my videos, but I promise that I'm gonna answer. It's from Elisa, and she's telling me that currently she's torn between Neverfull MM in empreinte leather and On The Go PM size. Both of those handbags from Louis Vuitton are new, and I would be torn myself, honestly, because you can never go wrong with Neverfull. And I think actually the Neverfull that when they're going to introduce in empreinte leather, I think it's going to be a great price. I personally believe, because I think in Canadian dollars it's just under $2,700 before taxes, and American I think it's about $2,000. In my humble opinion, you're getting really a lot. It's a beautiful handbag. It's leather handbag. It also has additional pouch, so it's really a lot for your money. You're getting really a lot for your money. Truly love that handbag. So when it comes to On The Go PM, it's definitely a fun handbag, especially if you want to get in some kind of fun color like fuchsia, etc. But I wouldn't think it's handbag that you're gonna buy for the same reasons that you're gonna buy a Neverfull MM. If it would have been Neverfull MM and On The Go MM, then it's totally a different story, because they're somewhat close in the function. But On The Go PM, in my humble opinion, it's a little bit different function. It's more of the day to night handbag, not a work tote handbag. But I love them both, and frankly I cannot give you my recommendation, because I would have been the same. I would say what you really feel the best for you, what is inside your heart, what you want. Do you need another Neverfull if you have already a Neverfull, or really you want to have some kind of fun handbag as an On The Go PM, especially in the fun size, fun color, sorry. I hope I answer your question. So I guess, guys, this is all the questions for today. I hope I answer your questions. I'm looking forward to my next Q&A, and if you have any questions for the next Q&A, please, you can ask them right now, and I will save your question and I will answer on my next Q&A. I would like to thank once again everybody who asked me questions this time, and I will see you on my next video. Bye bye.